Hi everybody. Someone asked me to make a video on Freud's stages of psychosexual development, and so this will be a quick one because it's not that many. There aren't that many stages. A lot of times when I'm studying, I try to make up acronyms to help me remember, especially when I'm thinking about stages. Not the acronyms to help you answer the questions on the exam, but just come up with your own acronyms to help you remember stages. Because there are plenty of different stages of development and by different theorists, and it's difficult to remember all of them. So there are 5 stages of Freud's psychosexual development, and I do have my notes. So the stages are oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. So I came up with an acronym when I was studying. I can't remember exactly what it was. So I was thinking earlier while I was at work today, and I was like, what can be an acronym for this? So I came up with only angry people like grapes. Something simple, silly, or it could be something like only angry people like guns, or whatever you want it to be. Just come up with an acronym to help you remember the stages. So oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. Only angry people like grapes or guns or gum or whatever you want it to be. Okay, so the first stage is the oral stage, and this stage is from birth to 18 months. The oral stage is just what it is, and a lot of times we have to look at these stages and these words for what they are instead of thinking too far into them. And that goes especially for the psychosexual stages of development. The oral stage, again, is what it is. It's when the child focuses on sucking, biting, chewing, that kind of thing, and that's where they get their pleasure from. And these stages are all about pleasure and immediate gratification. And also these stages are about, if a child or a person gets stuck at one stage and doesn't progress to the next stage, then later on in life they'll have a fixation on that stage or develop some kind of issue that causes them to show that they were stuck in this stage. So people who don't progress to the next stage, which is the anal stage, who don't master the anal stage and are stuck in the oral stage, they sometimes later on in life have issues with smoking, drinking. They may bite their fingernails, things that give them oral pleasure, chewing on a straw or something like that. Those are the people who are fixated at this stage and they did not progress to the next stage, which is the anal stage. So it's pretty simple. These people also may be gullible later on in life. They may be overly dependent on other people. They may be pessimistic or aggressive, that kind of thing. But the main focus on this stage is just that the child is fixated on things that give them oral pleasure: sucking, biting, chewing, that kind of thing. Alright, so the next stage is the anal stage. And again, before I move to the oral stage, I'm at the anal stage. Oral, think about a baby, birth to 18 months. That's all they do is suck on a bottle. They might start teething, so they're going to bite or chew. So just take it for what it is. Okay, so then the anal stage is next, and that's from 18 months to 3 years. So the anal stage is all about gratification with the anus. So when you think about a child 18 months, which is a year and a half, to 3 years, they're potty training. So they get gratification from passing bowels, bowel movements, releasing fecal matter, defecating, however you want to put it. And that's how they get pleasure. And so they have to master the whole potty training thing, and also through pressures of their parents, they have to learn how to control anal stimulation, and that is, again, potty training. People who don't get past this stage and progress to the next stage, which is the phallic stage, they tend to have a fixation on cleanliness, perfection, control, or they may be on the opposite end of that spectrum and they may be messy or disorganized. They don't have much structure. So if they don't progress to the phallic stage, then they have those kind of issues later on in life. Okay, so the next stage is the phallic stage, and this is age 3 to age 6. This is where we all know about the Oedipus complex and the Electra complex. So this is where the focus is, the pleasure and the focus in this stage is on the genitals, the sex organs. So the penis, the vagina, not necessarily a focus on that, but on that biological makeup. So this is where the male child becomes envious and jealous of the father, and has a connection with the mom, or wants a connection with the mom, and wants to marry their mom, very affectionate with the mom, and so they become, competitive with the dad. But then, out of fear that the dad may castrate the child, the male child, then he realizes, okay, hey, I can't have my mom, and my dad is going to punish me for having these feelings. So if I don't want to be castrated, I'll just understand that this is my mom. And then this is also a time where the child is, let me make sure I get this right. The child is identifying with the father and developing his identity as a man, separate from the dad. And also, if the male child does not progress and realize that he can't have his mom, that this is not that kind of relationship, then later on in life, the child or the adult at that time may have some issues with overindulging in sex or avoiding sex altogether, or may even have some sexual identity conflict. So, and then also along in this stage, the phallic stage, is when the female child may have some kind of affectionate feelings for their father and may see their mom as a threat, and that's called the Electra complex. Even though Freud did not necessarily agree with that, theorists that came after Freud pretty much pinned that and said that the female child has an Electra complex. But for sure, Freud did agree with the Oedipus complex. And for anyone who's wondering, Oedipus is a Greek mythology figure who accidentally killed his dad and married his mom. Google it if you're not sure about it. Okay, so the next stage is the latency stage. This is age 6 to puberty, which is about age 12 or 13. This is where feelings lie dormant during that time, and children play with children of the same sex. So not too much is going on during this stage. It's just the girls play with the girls, the boys play with the boys. Doing too much playing with the boys could give the girls cooties, and vice versa, that kind of thing. So not too much going on in the latency stage. It's just very dormant, and kids are just developing with their same-sex peers. So then the last stage is the genital stage. This is puberty and above, so that's age 12 or 13 and older. This is where sexual urges they come up again. So we talked about them in the phallic stage with having an affectionate kind of relationship with the mom if you're a boy, or with the dad if you're a girl. When we were in the latency stage, those feelings were dormant, but now that we're in the genital stage, these feelings come back up. And then through lessons learned in the latency stage, where they're playing with the same-sex peers, this is how adolescents direct their sexual urges onto opposite sex peers, with the primary focus for pleasure is in the genitals. Okay, so this is where kids start having hormones. They tend to want to be sexual. They may ask questions about sex. This is the age where they start taking sex ed in middle school, around age 12. I believe you're in like the 6th grade. This is where sex ed happens, and we start having wet dreams, for lack of a better term, right now. Girls start having their menstrual cycle. The acne comes, all of that. So, and then, of course, you grow up and you have sexual relationships or you don't. So, that's pretty much it for Freud psychosexual stages of development. 5 stages: oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. An acronym that can help you remember those. Only angry people love guns. Only angry people love grapes, or whatever you want it to be. Alright, so I hope this video has been helpful. Please like and subscribe and share my channel and videos with your colleagues and your friends. Check out my website, daytodaysocialwork.wix.com/mysite. I offer tutoring at $35 an hour. Check out my website if you want to inquire about tutoring. Alright, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box, and I plan on making another video tonight, and hopefully I'll get that done. So until next time, we'll see you later.